Nick, and today we're taking a look at the new Akaso Brave 4 Pro. This camera is currently selling for $109.99 on Amazon and the Akaso.com site. And no, Akaso did not ask me to do this review. I actually did purchase this camera with my own money, so I will be giving my honest opinion on it. So first, let's do a quick unboxing, take a look at the features, and then we'll do an internal and external microphone test. Okay, and here's all the attachments and accessories that come with this camera. Sadly, the camera is not waterproof, so if you like to use it in the water, you will have to use the waterproof housing that comes with the camera. The body is made of a rubberized type plastic, and sadly it does not have the 1/4-inch thread on the bottom, so you will have to use the little cage that comes with it if you would like to attach a tripod or a handle to it. Here are the features of this camera. Sadly, the image sensor and the chipset are unknown. I did try to contact Akaso, but sadly they could not give me that information, so it will have to remain a mystery for now, I guess. A max resolution of 4K at 30 frames a second, 20 megapixel photo, touchscreen. It does have dual screens. It does support an external mic, but it does not come with the camera. Image stabilization 2.0. And it is waterproof up to 131 feet if you use it with the waterproof case. Comes with a wireless remote, a micro USB and micro HDMI output, and a Wi-Fi app so you can connect your phone. Alright, so this is what the internal microphone would sound like on the Akaso Brave 4 Pro. I do have it set to 4K at 30 frames a second with the IS turned on. It does support external microphone, but it doesn't come with you. You actually have to pay for it separately. And sadly, I wasn't able to find one in time to be able to do a review on it. But if I do find one, I will post a review with the external microphone. But for the time being, this is what the internal microphone sounds like. Okay, so I was actually able to get my hands on an external microphone in time. This is actually an external microphone for a Cam Park action camera, but it does work with the Akaso Brave 4 Pro. One thing about this microphone is you can't just plug it in and go. You actually have to go through your settings and choose microphone and whether or not you want to use the built-in microphone or the external microphone. But this is how the external microphone would sound if you decide to purchase this camera. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at some image stabilization tests. Now let's see how the stabilization does going down some slippery looking steps into the creepy dead forest. That'd make some good content if I actually fell down these steps. Okay, run a little bit. Didn't fall. The sign says, "Do not feed the wild foxes." Hopefully we'll see one. So as you can see, the image stabilization does work on this camera, but in my opinion it's not that great. I think the Akaso V50X still has a superior image stabilization compared to this camera. Alright, so next let's take a look at some time-lapse video in the field of view. So one thing I wanted to mention was about the field of view. If you're changing the field of view, you have to have image stabilization off. Image stabilization will only work when the camera is set to super wide. I'm not sure why they did that. Hopefully they'll make some type of software update in the future to fix that. But if you do decide to change the field of view, you will have to have the image stabilization turned off. Alright, so this is the Andor AN2 versus the Akaso Brave 4 Pro. The Andor AN2 is set to 4K at 24 frames a second, and the Akaso is set to 4K at 30 frames a second. Now I'm comparing it to the Andor AN2 because it's very similar to the old original Brave 4 that came out, as it has a similar body and a lot of the similar settings as the original had. So which camera do you think looks better? The Andor AN2 that came out in 2017, which I believe I paid about $15 on clearance for, or the new Akaso Brave 4 Pro? So sadly, the only pros I could think of for this camera is that it does support an external mic, which sounds pretty decent. It does have dual screens and a touch screen. As for the cons, I think it's slightly overpriced. It's oversaturated. The resolutions are kind of blurry in my opinion. They're not that clear, especially at 60 frames a second and 120 frames a second. The field of view or angle needs to have EIS off if you decide to change it. There's no 4K at 60 frames a second, and there's no 1/4 inch on the bottom of the camera, which is something I personally like. So what do you guys think? Do you think this camera is worth the $109? Or am I just being over picky? If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, as that will help me continue to be able to make reviews for you guys. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. See ya.